In this video, I'll be presenting a more formal argument against the existence of God. I call this one the ontological argument against the existence of God. Here goes. 1. God is, by definition, a being than which none greater can be imagined. 2. It is possible to imagine a being that creates a world with free will that never loses its perfection. A being that creates a world with free will that never loses its perfection is greater than a being that creates a world with free will that does lose its perfection. Therefore, 4. God, as the being than which none greater can be imagined, would create a world with free will that never loses its perfection. 5. Religious traditions teach that this world has lost its perfection. 6. Therefore, this world is not the creation of God. 7. If God exists, he would be the creator of all things. 8. Therefore, God does not exist. Now, an anticipated objection is that free will necessarily entails the possibility of falling into imperfection. Even God can't create free creatures without risking sin. My response to this is, it is logically conceivable for a being to create free creatures whose will freely and consistently aligns with the good, without coercion. This is not mere programming or coercion. Their alignment with the good would arise from the creature's free recognition of the good's supreme value, which they fully and freely embrace. Moreover, within Christian and Islamic theologies, heaven is portrayed as a final state in which free beings no longer sin yet retain freedom. If it is possible for free beings to exist eternally in such a perfect state, then it is possible from the outset. Positing that God must allow a fallen earthly existence before achieving a perfect heavenly state would imply that God is constrained by a process, that he must achieve step Y, heaven, by first passing through step X, a fallen world. But a being that is constrained by process is not the maximal being of classical theism. For such a being, there are no necessary mazes, delays, or obstacles to overcome by definition. Thus, if a perfect world of free beings that are always aligned with the good is logically possible, and it is, a perfect unconstrained being would realize it immediately. Freedom without inevitable corruption is greater than freedom with inevitable corruption. A being than which none greater can be imagined would necessarily realize the greater state. That's my attempt at what I call the ontological argument against the existence of God, and a possible objection to it and my response. Tell me what you think. I'm not trained in any kind of logic, or I have no formal education in philosophy, but I thought I'd give it a go. If you like it, give it a like. If you want to shoot it down, shoot it down. See you next time. Bye.